Welcome, Texans for Vaccine Choice. I'm your Executive Director, Jackie Schlegel.
And I'm Rebecca Hardy, the Director of State Policy, and welcome to another weekly chat about choice.
And today is part 2 of our series, Vaccine Choice Votes.
That's right.
I love it. It's so catchy, and sitting here thinking about the fact that we actually can vote and have a say in the outcome of what's going to happen.
I am so excited.
It's empowering.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
I'm excited that we get to come to you and talk about this vaccine choice votes issue. And today we are going to be going over what?
Common voter questions. Kind of the ins and outs of this primary election.
A lot of the stuff that we've actually been learning ourselves.
That's right.
Right? So let's just start with the first question is, if you're not registered to vote.
If you are not registered to vote, then you've missed the boat. You cannot vote in the March 6th primary. I know. We did a lot of push to get out the vote.
We tried.
And if you registered, and if you didn't, I'm sorry.
That really stinks. However,
Good
news is we still have several elections.
Yeah.
You cannot vote in the primary coming up here on March 6th.
But there will be several, or I don't know how many, but there will be a good number of runoff elections from the primaries. So if more than one person was in the running, there may be a runoff. If one person does not get 50% plus one vote, there will be a runoff between the top two winners.
And then we have a general election.
And then we have the general election in November, and that's where the winners of the Republican and Democrat primaries will show up on the same ballot.
So it's very, very important to get registered. So
Yes.
Where do you register?
Well, you can register in person or by mail. You can register in person at your voter registrar's office, and also usually at the tax assessor and collector's office. You can also register by mail by picking up a registration form at public libraries, government offices, at high schools, and also at that voter registration office.
Okay, so let's talk about important dates here, because
Yes.
we actually checked this out.
I
This
know.
is kind of
Isn't this
beautiful.
great?
So why don't you go through these important election dates with us?
I would be happy to. Okay, so for this election, early voting starts February 20th and runs for 12 days. It ends March 2nd. That's from 7 in the morning to 7 at night for those 12 days at those specific locations for early voting in your county.
And when they show up, they could actually see one of us there.
That's right.
Right? Because we're going to be out at some polling
That's
stations.
right. If you are showing up to vote in one of our priority race regions, you may very well see TFBC in the
or
parking lot.
another beautiful, friendly face.
That's right.
That we've got a lot of volunteers who are going to be out there to assist you.
And so March 6th is the election day. That is when you go to vote, you have to vote in your precinct or maybe a tri-precinct area. So it's a much more restricted geographical area.
Okay.
Yes.
Moving along. We're back to common voter questions.
Yes.
Why don't you go to the next one?
You know what? Why don't I just talk right quick about why, I know we've gone over it a lot, but let's go over again why primaries are important.
I think that's a great topic to cover.
I will just give you my 2-minute recap here. Primaries are if you are going to make your vote count the most in Texas, you have to be a primary voter. If you are waiting to the general to be just a general election voter, you are too late. And why is that? That is because in Texas, we have 150 House of Representative seats, and we have 31 Senate seats. Of those 181 districts, only about a dozen are considered swing districts, which means if a Republican holds the seat, in almost all of them, a Republican will continue to hold the seat. And the same for the Democrats. If it's a Democrat district, a Democrat will win in the general, which means it is really in the primary where we have a chance to pick the best choice for that Republican or that Democrat in the primary. So it is that name that then appears on the general election ballot. So we have a chance to send our champion legislators back by voting for them in the primary so that they then appear on the general election ballot. And the same thing for our challengers. We have the opportunity to get rid of these bozos down there that that are
just a few
that are not voting with us, that are being challenged by these candidates that have said, yes, I stand with you and I believe in your cause and I will go to Austin and if I have the honor of being elected. And really that starts at the primary ballot box.
Absolutely. And I realize we cover a lot of topics. This doesn't seem like this edition's probably not going to be like the most fun to really listen to. However, it's so important because if we know anything from experience, okay, primary day, our phones are going to be blowing up.
I mean, blowing up. People are going to say, who do I
vote for? How does this work?
Where do I vote?
So it's so important to listen up right now and to share this information. So let's go through a little bit about TFVC, our endorsements, how things work, and when people show up to the polls, what their ballot is going to look like, right?
Okay,
this is very, very important. We have a lot of questions. So let's start to tackle this.
This is so important. So when you go to the ballot box, hopefully before you go, you have looked up and you know who your what House district and Senate district you are in, and that you have gone to the TFVC page with our endorsements to figure out who you can vote for. That page is TexansForVaccineChoice.com/online/2018 primary endorsements /
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do we endorse for everybody that our viewers are going to see on their
That is a
ballot?
Great question. No. Texans for Vaccine Choice, as of right now, we are only endorsing in the representative and the Senate races. But when you go to your county website, your county's election website, and you can pull up a sample ballot, there's going to be many races on there. And so while you can very easily find the TFVC endorsed candidate for your House and Senate districts, you will need to become an educated voter on all these other races from a different source.
Yeah, and every county is a little bit different on where they have the information. And again, that's why we're coming to you, so we can give you this information so you can be an educated and informed voter. I know from my county, it's very easy to go there, pull up the sample ballot. You pick whether you're going to be voting in the Republican primary or the Democrat primary. But I actually went and looked mine up yesterday, and there were some propositions I need to get educated on, right? So we really, really encourage you to do this beforehand.
Yes.
We hate getting panic phone calls from members or from individuals who are there going over their ballot and not exactly sure how to vote.
Or this one, when people get there and they say, well, I know that Bob Hall's important, but I don't get to vote for him. He's not on my ballot. Why don't I get to vote for Bob Hall for senator? Well, it's because you don't live in Senate District 2, probably. So
important.
Just these questions, it's so good to hash these out and seek out the information well in advance of your trip to the ballot box.
But we really do encourage everybody to get educated on the issues.
That's right.
Then come back and line it up with TFVC endorsed candidates and be prepared when you go to vote.
Yes.
All right. So do we have any other TFVC tips for voting?
The biggest question I think we get is, do I have to register for a party in Texas?
Well, why don't you explain that?
Yes. In Texas, there's no party registration. You do have to pick one party or the other when you show up to vote, but you don't have to register for a party beforehand. And I think an important fact to remember is that Texas has open primaries, which means that anyone can cast a ballot in either party's primary, regardless of whether you have voted in that party's primary before. Republicans can vote in a Democratic primary and vice versa, but you can only vote in one primary. And
so when you show up, they are going to ask you, do you want a Republican form or a Democrat?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. And we're just going to lay it on the line here.
Yeah, so we've talked about this numerous times, but it keeps coming up. So we're going to rehash it one more time for you. Do we have any Democrats who support protecting and advancing informed consent, medical privacy, and vaccine choice who have earned our endorsement?
No.
Sad. We don't like it. We've
don't.
tried to find them, but so far we haven't.
Not yet.
But if you are a Democrat and this is something that is very important to you, we encourage you to get involved in your local politics. And bring this to attention of those who are running as Democrats if this is an important issue to you. And we will take it a step farther and say, if you find somebody who's open to the discussion, call us up. We will gladly get on the phone with them.
Happily.
We will meet with them and we will educate them on this topic. And hopefully next go around, we will have some endorsed Democrats.
That is my hope.
That is the hope.
Eventually we will make some headway with the Democrats in really opening their eyes that this is a human rights issue and not a partisan issue.
But with that said, let's keep this in mind. We don't have any Democrats, but we're also going against a lot of Republicans.
Yes.
Right?
There are pretty much all of the people that we are endorsing, the challengers, are because they're Republicans that go to Austin and vote wrong.
They're bad.
They're bad.
All right. So when people say you don't like Democrats, well, there's a lot of Republicans we don't like either.
We are equal opportunity dislikers.
At the end of the day, this really is about, our mission here, and you stand with us or you're against us. We don't care what party you're in. We don't care your political affiliation. We are here to advance our mission. And so this is the hand that has been dealt to us.
That's right.
So we just want to be clear about that and how you can get involved in making that change. All right. So other questions we have here.
I think most of them we have gone over.
Where can, we have this awesome form here. Where can people find this?
Okay, so this is the common voter questions. We have a whole blog. If you go to our website, TexansForVaccineChoice.com, we have a tab at the top called blog. The very first blog is common voter questions, and it kind of lays out a lot that what we have gone through. And it's just really important to go and get educated. I don't know how many times we can say that. Find out all of this information well in advance of your trip to the polls, whether you're going early voting starting February 20th or on election day on March 6th in your precinct. Do the legwork.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we will continue to try to bring you links and information to help you in your decision, to help you find your state rep, your state senator. But if you're not following this page, if you're not following Texans for Vaccine Choice emails, then you're missing out. There's only so much information we can put out there. The rest is up to you. So we're going to lay that out there for you, and keep on following and give us your feedback. And thanks for being an educated and informed voter, because truly none of this would be possible without all of you getting out there and doing the work.
I'm really excited about seeing how Vaccine Choice votes this go around.